Hi, this is the second part of a story from Among the Lost, which is the second book in my trilogy called In Dante's Wake. Uh, in the story, I'm trekking across the city of Purgatory, guided by a couple of boys, and around evening, I come to a traffic circle where I find a number of men roasting potatoes in a 55-gallon drum. I approach them and after a while manage to persuade one of them to tell me what he and his companions are doing there. He's described this way: huge, round-faced, with pock-marked cheeks, cleft chin, and a nose as broad and flat as a shovel that looks as though a collision with heavy equipment formed it, much to the worst of the heavy equipment. He's 70, maybe, silver-haired, gentle-voiced, cleanly clad in denim overalls, the same, I guess, that he wears every day, like some might wear a business suit, although retired, because it's what they do. He offers a hand I could put both mine in, skin the hue of bog iron, walnut shell knuckles. And here's his story. Gotta scroll down to it now, don't I? And whoop. Now I scrolled past it. Okay. The man talks to me, he says. After I got back from my tour in Korea, speaking of things a man would rather let go and be gone, I didn't ask to go, and nobody gave much of a damn when I returned, except my folks, of course. I got a place at this here mill, and every working day for 15 years, the number 5 bus set me down right here, gate 13B. The sign's on the wall at Casey's bar now. I'd walk up this drive to the changing room and prepare for my shift. Now, you call me brother. Let me tell you, as a black man, not a lot of brothers on the floor in the union. But I made it because the local's treasurer's son and I was overseas together. We seen some things, you know what I mean? He said he could take care of me when we got home. I didn't think he would, but he did. So I owed my job and my union card to a white man. How else would I get them? Mostly, I'll say, it wasn't too bad. Nobody messed with my man Dan, so mostly nobody messed with me. Mostly nobody had too much to do with me at all. Like Jackie Robinson, I kept my head down, did my job as good as I could do it, never let them pathetic cracker bastards rile me to where they could see it. Bought myself a damn fine case of hypertension. Paid a mortgage, kept my wife at home, raised my kids, 3 boys and a girl, to never miss a meal or lack for clothes, and they've got professional jobs, and she's married. He almost says, I don't regret the loneliness to look at them, but can't, and pauses, wondering, is it true? Only when I look at them, he decides. Long about 1969, things got ugly, same as they always do when management starts to feeling heat and comes to the shop floor with that look in their eye. The why of it don't bear going into. Work rules tighten, break times policed, bust your ass is what is expected, contract talks begin, and all they say is give back. Tension up and down the line. Bust a sprocket, it might mean your job. Ease it off, they chew you out. Ain't nobody singing mornings in the changing room. It's bad quiet. I kept on keeping my head down and my eyes wide open, but something was going to blow. And when things blows, it always lands on the near. We say, no matter what happens, they always blame the Jews, I interject. Is that so? Depends on who's the handiest target, I guess. A black and white newspaper photograph from the 60s bearded Abraham Joshua Heschel, his froth of white hair crammed beneath a beret, standing alongside the baby-faced, neatly mustached, sad-eyed Martin Luther King, flickers behind my optic nerves. I wonder if it flickers behind his? His shoulders relax. He leans forward. The nigger talk started up again before the strike. I'd almost got to think they didn't even notice anymore, but now the grab-ass horsing around would stop as soon as I got close, and eyes would slide away from me and down. You know what I mean. And conversations fade. And the couple of guys who treated me normal stood way out and backed off some. Only Dan was same as ever, mostly. That got better when we went out and I stood with them. That was a rainy April. Mornings, Dan and I would share a thermos on the line. I still remember how the steam would rise around his fingers, unscrewing the top, hot and strong. But when the company got the court to call us Wildcat, well, everybody got real quiet, watching to see what I'd do. They gave us 14 days to give in, come back, save our jobs, or else. You know what I mean. Each man on that picket line was thinking it over, and each man on that line made out as if he had doubts about no one but me. Even Dan, except with him, he'd make like it's a joke. That cuts real bad to think about it now, but then I thought, I always knew that boy's a honky. Angry, crouching into myself, like Ali when he's doing the rope-a-dope. Every morning, we still shared that coffee. It cost him sharing that coffee with me. I knew just what it got him a taste of, and I was glad of it, and grateful too. Bitter times. So, back on the line. It was a Thursday evening. We show up here, at this here gate, a kind of ambush, unexpected-like, to catch the shift change, see if we can stop the scabs. Cool and drizzly. The air's all dull with water, and everything's glossy and wet, and the pavement's greasy slick, you know what I mean? Your windshield wiper is just smeared around. The lights are all too bright and blurred, and after 15 minutes on the line, your clothes is damp right through, and the sign you're carrying flops right off its pole. The cardboard's soaked, and the staples kind of melt right through it. Then is when the scabs show up, 2 or 3 to a pickup, driving slow and steady through the line and into the gate where we can't follow them, and then they gun it. The boys got madder and madder, watching those taillights disappear up that drive. So here comes a brand new two-tone F-100, just one facing the cab, and somebody couldn't stand it no more, throws a brick. The cops haven't got there yet. The windshield crazes. You can't see nothing behind it. The F-100 swerves, and next you know, its bumper is pinning Dan to the fence right over there, and he's as white as a gut-shut corporal I saw at Hung Nam. The truck rolls back a bit, and Dan is yelling he's all right, but he's grabbed onto the fence, just hanging there, and next I know, I've tore the cab door open. I've grabbed the driver's shirt and hauled him out. He's limp as a sack of potatoes. I'm holding him up. I look around behind me. All these strange, white faces, wild with fury. I felt I could do anything to that kid. He's maybe 20, blue-eyed, curly black hair like a Spanish movie star. Can't move his mouth, he's scared so shitless. Just keeps going, So, I set him to his feet. I brush the glass off of his shoulders. I say, now, son, you best be going home. The boys all part to let him pass, and he walks like his knees don't work so good. Sometimes I wonder whatever happened to him. Me, that moment I held him there, I stopped being mad with anybody ever, except those greedy motherfuckers set us working people against each other. A couple years later, they busted the union. The year after that, they closed the plant, so a hell of a lot of good it did them. And every year since then, us wildcats that are left, we meet on this spot where Dan got his ruptured spleen. He died from that summer. He's glaring at me, breathing hard. I wait for him to come to himself. I say, "Brother, forgiveness," and stop, confounded. "Oh, I'll forgive the suits, all right," he says, and a grin splits his lower jaw from his upper. "I'll forgive the suits the day they ask me nice," and claps me on the shoulder and hands me a spud.